Hey, it's Rachel Cooke, your modern mentor. I'm the founder of Lead Above Noise, a firm specializing in activating workforces. We find your blind spots and opportunities and build you the custom blueprint you need to get your teams delivering their best work, efficiently, collaboratively, and with full engagement. Do you have a question for me? Leave me a voicemail at 201-677-8113, and I may respond with an episode just for you. So for today, I'm starting with a random story alert. When I was little, I would sometimes get a weird allergic reaction after eating. Nothing serious, just a little bit of swelling. And then I'd have to take this allergy pill to counter the symptoms. And I hated the pill because it made me super sleepy. And then finally, one day, at long last, we figured out what was triggering the allergy. And I changed my diet and abracadabra. No more meds needed. So now you're wondering, or at least I hope you are, why I just shared that random detail of my childhood? Well, to put it simply, it was my first life experience with the power of preventing a problem, like by not eating the thing I was allergic to, rather than treating the symptoms with a pill that I hated. It's a good lesson, and it's one that I try to keep top of mind, for myself and with my clients. And it feels particularly important right now, in the context of this thing happening around us that's being called carewashing. Have you heard of it? Whether you have or haven't, it's likely happening in your workplace. And while it's not so much evil, it can be quite problematic. So today, let's talk about what it is, why it's happening, and what you can do to combat it. Okay, so carewashing. It's a combo of the words care and washing, which are generally good things. So what's the problem? Well, like its predecessors, whitewashing and greenwashing, carewashing is essentially the practice many companies have picked up of implementing lots of programs and policies designed to show care for their employees. But at their core, they may be more performative than substantive. For some companies, it's about highlighting their superficial wellness programs, unlimited vacation, yoga, meditation classes. For others, it's an employee recognition program with lots of bells and whistles when someone hits a home run. Or maybe it's events, a fancy holiday party or bagels on Fridays or a monthly happy hour. But wait, these all sound reasonably fun, right? So what's the problem? Well, the problem is they are the corporate version of medicine. They're there to treat problems, like overwhelm or disconnect or engagement, but they're not solving them. And too many companies are hiding behind these sexy, shiny programs. They're winning Best Places to Work awards, and don't get me started on those, while their teams are struggling. What companies should be asking are questions like, why do we need so much meditation and carbs? What is causing the experience we're trying to combat in the first place? And how do we put meaningful solutions in place? Maybe you're struggling. So if you are, let's talk about some actions you can take if you suspect you're being carewashed. First, do not be afraid to enjoy. Listen, I don't mean to sound like a hypocrite here, but I'm going to say it. Even if you see these programs for what they are, you still have my permission to enjoy what's available to you. Like maybe you're feeling overwhelmed. Your to-do list is too long, your calendar is double and triple booked, you don't have the basic tools you need to get your job done, and you need to solve for those things. But while you work through that, don't be afraid to hop into a yoga class if it's there for the taking. Some deep breathing may do your soul some good. Or grab a mental health day, or go stick your face in a bowl of bagels on Friday. In the same way my allergy pill wasn't getting to the root of the problem, it did offer me some relief in the moment. And maybe your yoga or carbs can do the same for you. Don't be afraid of a little joy at work. No guilt. Okay, next. Ask meaningful questions. Okay, so maybe you rocked some down dog, and now it's time to get to the real stuff. I want you to ask yourself, what is all of this carewashing trying to wash out? Like, whatever stress or overwhelm you and your colleagues are feeling, what is causing it? Maybe we've got a calendar overload situation. You're in back-to-back meetings, often double booked. What is causing that? What information or permission do you need to change that? Maybe you're going to every meeting because you're not clear on what your top priority should be. Or maybe there are too many meetings in general because the team hasn't agreed to what constitutes a meeting versus what should have been an email. Or maybe everyone is being invited to everything because roles and responsibilities haven't been clearly defined or communicated. Whatever the source of the actual problem, this is where you start asking questions designed to drive a solution rather than a prescription. Prepare some questions in advance and then sit down with your boss and push for the clarity you need. You might try, "Hey, I seem to be the point person for all these priorities. Can you help me identify which one or two I should be most focused on right now? This will help me decide which meetings I should attend." Or maybe, "Here are 3 examples of meetings I attended last week that really were just status updates. Can we ask the team in the future to send out update emails rather than meeting invites?" Or maybe it's, "The whole team is being invited to every meeting, leaving us all struggling to get our work done. Can we clarify who should be the point person on planning versus communication versus implementation?" Obviously, make these questions your own, but get the substantive information you need to make substantive changes. Once you're no longer drowning in meetings, you may not need so much deep breathing. Okay, next, start your own initiatives. The thing about carewashing is it's not evil. It's just misguided, kind of generic rather than specific. So this is your invitation to bypass the shiny programs and drive your own experiences. Bagels on Fridays aren't bad, but what if you paired it with a book club so you and your colleagues could come together and share insights, drive some learning while spreading the schmear? Maybe meditation sounds nice, but group coaching sounds even better. So pull together a small group of peers to create a trusted, safe space in which you discuss your challenges and offer each other ideas and support. Or find a mentor, or start an employee resource group or a speaker series. The point is you are empowered to drive your own programming, to bring to life experiences that will actually serve your goals. And finally, build a coalition to drive change. Getting feedback to leadership is important. They may mean well with their wellness programs, but if they're missing the mark, they need to hear it. Now, it might feel intimidating to approach a senior leader on your own, so this is where community matters. Do you have a group of trusted colleagues all willing to talk about their experiences of overwhelm or unclarity or concern for the customer or the patient? Come together, pool your experiences and your suggestions, like stronger prioritization from senior leadership or more regular communication, or more universal access to key tools and resources. And let senior leaders know what you really need in order to feel cared for, not care-washed. Join me next week for another great episode. Until then, visit my website at leadabovenoise.com if your workplace could use an activation boost, a talk, a workshop, a pulse check, you choose. You can follow Modern Mentor on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you listen to podcasts. Find and follow me on LinkedIn. Thanks so much for listening and have a successful week. Modern Mentor is a quick and dirty tips podcast. It's audio engineered by Dan Feyerabend. Our director of podcasts is Brandon Getchis. Our podcast and advertising operations specialist is Morgan Christensen. Our digital operations specialist is Holly Hutchings. And our marketing and publicity assistant is Davina Tomlin.